Hello everyone and welcome to episode 82 of this WMMA 5 series here on the channel, as it is Pride FC Worldwide 8, Chuck Liddell vs. Dan Henderson 3. It's crazy how real life Chuck Liddell, Dan Henderson didn't cross paths, but here in this all-time line we get the trilogy, as we only have one piece of mail, and it is about Hollis Gracie, who is signed, and he's going to be in the heavyweight division. Obviously, Gracie's in this mod have been pretty goddamn terrible, and I'm expecting nothing less here. But he's going to be in the heavyweight division, the 6'4", Gracie heavyweight, with his jiu-jitsu background. Might have somewhat of an advantage against some guys, but really, I think 9 times out of 10, he's probably going to lose, to be honest, just the way it seems like all those Gracies in this mod. They just can't, they're just cursed. The name is cursed. The family's cursed. I doubt anything will happen from that. But yeah, without further ado, let's get on with the show. Main event, of course, Chuck Liddell and Dan Henderson. Charles Crazy Horse Bennett making his debut in the co-main event against Ramiro Sato. Gilbert Melendez and Daisuke Nakamura. That's going to be a Gilbert Melendez domination performance there against Daisuke Nakamura. And Joaquin Manson against Paul Healy. Jake Ellenberg versus Diego Sanchez. That's a sleeper, kind of really good fight there. Then Pete Drago taking on Chad Saunders to kick off the television show. As then the prelims, Nate the Rock Corey against Alex Schoonover. So a little tough one alumnus there fighting. And then Dan Hardy taking on Takanori Sato in the opener of the prelims, I guess. As we'll just go right on through here. As obviously the third time they have fought. Dan Henderson's actually won every fight, so he's 2-0 against Chuck Liddell, as Liddell the last two fought at Pride 28's High Octane, where Dan Henderson won by unanimous decision. They're two of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, with Chuck Liddell ranked at 15th and Dan Henderson ranked at 24th, which is crazy because both men are on quite the losing streak, as Chuck Liddell has lost 3 straight. Granted, 2 of them have been in title fights. Split decision loss to Anderson Silva, unanimous decision loss to Big Nog, and they lost to Alex Stiebling at Shockwave to end out the year of 2006. Crazy fought 3 times in the year 2006, all pretty much within like 6 months of each other too, kicking off the year in January and then July, then December, kind of evenly paced there, which is crazy to think about. And then Dan Henderson, on the other hand, he is on a 4-fight losing streak, losing to Frank Shamrock in a title fight, then lost to Anderson Silva, Nate Marcotte, and then just lost to Rampage this year at Pride FC Worldwide 3. He's a guy who's, he's beaten Chuck twice. First at Armed and Ready, and then at Pride 28 Octane. There for a while, he was on a hell of a streak, I would say, from 2003 to 2005, where he was having good fights with just about everybody. Still, the best fight he's probably ever had was the first Liddell fight, or even the Enson Inoue loss. Crazy to think about Enson Inoue, or during the time of 2001, just seemed like he could not be defeated. It was just crazy run. But yeah, I mean, he's lost to basically a who's who of names, and then Enson Inoue out there. But obviously, when he lost to Inoue, that was when Inoue was at his best, and was like a middleweight title fight, like contender. Enson Inoue, when he knocked him out in 47 seconds. So what a crazy fight that was. But losing to 3 former middleweight champions, and then a former heavyweight champion. No small feat at all. But it's going to be a tough fight, because everybody in this fight, obviously, the 2 men, they need a win. Desperately need a win. It's 10th time that Liddell's main eventing a Pride event. 8th time for Dan Henderson. Dan Henderson hasn't won since January of 2005. Liddell will likely have a significant weight advantage and a 6-inch reach advantage, but so far that has never helped him out in any of these fights so far. Maybe that will be changed here in the trilogy fight. But yeah, both men desperately needed a win. Figured it was best to just throw them out there against each other and see what happens. As the co-main event, Crazy Horse Charles Bennett taking on the Moon Wolf, Ramiro Sato. Bennett has finished 3 of his last 5 opponents. Sato is the 10th ranked lightweight in Pride FC. Charles Bennett is 20th, which is crazy to think about. First time they have fought, Ramiro Sato's won 3 of his last 5 fights by decision. This is Bennett's debut, obviously. 4-3, though. It's very close, with Sato having the slight advantage. You know, Charles Bennett, entertaining fighter. He's beaten guys like Gleison Tebow. He's lost, though, to guys like Gilbert, Melendez, Josh Thompson, Dean Thomas when he was in the UFC. I think this is kind of like a perfect place for him. Because he's lost to even BJ Penn, Yves Edwards, there at the beginning of this mod. Yeah, I mean, he's just someone I think is an entertaining guy to have on the roster. He's a fun lightweight, but he's definitely not like in the top echelon of the lightweight division. So he's just like a fun guy who maybe can surprisingly beat someone every now and again. And for Romino Sato, who's coming in off of a loss to Josh Thompson, he's beaten Joaquim Hansen and Wanda Braga before this. He's lost to Toby Amada, Yves Edwards, Joe Stevenson, Dean Thomas, Takanori Gomi, but he's beaten Takanori Gomi 2 out of the 3 times, which is huge. And then he's lost to Carl Uno. Yeah, I mean, he's just someone who, again, is a little bit more well-rounded, more skilled than Charles Bennett is, but I think they're kind of similar guys as they're kind of on the outside of the top 10, even though Sato's right there at number 10 in the lightweight division. But I don't see really Sato like having like a lightweight title run type of thing. So that's just a fun fight to see who's the better man here. That should be an exciting co-main. That is for sure. It's Gilbert, El Nino, Melendez taking on Daisuke Nakamura. Yeah, I mean, Gilbert Melendez is going to crush poor Daisuke Nakamura here. This is very one-sided. Gilbert Melendez coming off of 2 losses to Jens Pulver and Joe Stevenson. So this is a bit of a gimme fight. You know, he's beaten some of the best, but he's also lost to some of the best as well. As, he's beaten a guy like Charles Bennett before. He's beaten guys like Kitty Florian before, and Takanori Gomi, Tatsuya Kawajiri. He's even beaten BJ Penn, a man who has lost to basically nobody, in BJ Penn. Should be an exciting fight, or not really exciting fight, but a complete domination for Gilbert Melendez. And Daisuke Nakamura does not have a chance in hell, but he's 9-4, 3-1 in Pride FC. Lost to Shinyoki in his debut, but he's beaten Joe Lozon, Sean Shirk, and Thiago Tavares. He's also lost to guys like Katsuya Inoue and Cristiano Marciello in Judo. I don't really see him coming out with any type of success. Complete domination for Gilbert Melendez. Hellboy Joaquim Hansen taking on Pat Bam Bam Healy. Healy trains at the Pit. Hansen has the overall record of 0-1 against other members of the team. 13th ranked is Joaquim Hansen in the lightweight division. Healy's 15th, so very similar in ranking. And it's going to be a little bit more of a similar style of fight, and I think this one it should be a lot more balanced than some of our fights we have on this card. As Joaquim Hansen, 3-1 in Pride FC, 15-8 as a whole. His only loss was to Romino Sato in Pride FC. He's lost to Ronda Braga, though, and Yves Edwards, Josh Thompson, and BJ Penn in King of the Cage. Or WEC in the Josh Thompson case. But yeah, I mean, he's another guy who's kind of just outside that top 10. Same thing with Pat Healy, as Pat is 1-2 in Pride FC, 16-3 as a whole. He's only lost to Gleison Tebow, Marciello, and Joe Hurley, but he's beaten Yves Edwards, a man who has defeated Joaquim Hansen. So yeah, I think this is should be a pretty well-balanced fight. Joaquim Hansen does have the Blurcast stat picks advantage, which I actually think Healy is going to have a slight advantage. We'll see, though. It's Jake Ellenberg taking on Diego Sanchez. What a crazy welterweight fight. It just kind of shows you how strong that welterweight division is. Those guys are 18th and 21st in that division. Jake Ellenberg has finished 3 of his last 5 opponents. Sanchez has won 3 of his last 5 fights by decision. First time they have fought. Ellenberg's going to have a specific weight advantage, but I don't think it's going to matter because Diego's a little bit more of a skilled fighter, even though he is ranked higher in the standings. Diego Sanchez, 10-2, 4-2 in Pride FC. He's only lost to John Fitch and John Pearson, but he's beaten guys like Matt Serra, Drew Fickett, Carlos Condit, Jay Heron, and he's very, very talented, obviously. Diego Sanchez, still only 25 years old. And Jake Ellenberg, 22 years old, 8-3. He's just beaten Dong Yoon Kim. He lost to Kyle Noak in his Pride FC debut at St. Valentine's Day Massacre. And he's lost to Elijah Harshberger and Chico Yamashita in Pancrase, which obviously that Elijah Harshberger fight was rated fantastic. We'll have to run that back. As that should be an exciting fight there between these two men. Yeah, I mean Sanchez having the advantage. I think that's they got that right in the Blur Cat staff picks. That's an exciting fight. That's a tough one to call too. As Pete Dragosel taking on Chad Saunders. Chad Saunders hasn't won since June of 2005. As Pete Sell trains at Cesar Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. Saunders has a record of 0-1 against other members of that team. First time they have fought, Pete Sell's going to have the 5-entry each advantage, and he's making his Pride FC debut, and I think he's going to come out with a win against Chad Saunders. Pete Dragosel, pretty much a well-rounded guy, can stand up with you, but also can take you to the ground. It's coming off a 4-fight win streak, even though 2 of them against local fighters, and he hasn't really fought any kind of big names, so that might hurt him. As I guess the biggest name would definitely be Nick Diaz, and he lost to him unanimous decision. That makes sense there. It was 0-3 in Pride and UFC rather. So we'll see how he does in Pride FC. But Chad Saunders, 1-2, his only ones against Robbie Lawler in Pride FC. He's someone who actually did pretty well in the UFC. He was 2-0. He's beaten Eric Davila. He's beaten Akira Kikuchi. He's also lost to Nick Diaz, but he's also lost to Mike Swick, Gideon Ray, and George St. Pierre. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a tough fight for Chad Saunders. He's also lost to Jason Von Flue and Jake Shields, obviously, recently. A tough fight, but he's definitely fought tougher guys. I think that could give him an advantage. You only get better if you're taking on better guys. That's just kind of, they say iron sharpens iron, and that's the only way. That's the old adage of you only get better, but with who you spar with. If you're sparring with great guys, you're going to become great type of thing. And, yeah, I mean, that's a tough one, though. Tough one to call, because I think Pete has the advantage standing, but, they're both pretty good on the ground, so that's going to be a tough one to call. The Rock, Nate Corey, taking out Alex Schoonover, as both fighters are making their Pride FC debuts, which is crazy to think about, as we signed Nate Corey back when we started this mod. I want to know, actually, a little bit later on, 2003, we threw him in rings after he lost to Melvin Manoff in M1. He beat Tim Kennedy at the beginning, but in April 2002. But he's kind of just definitely in rings there from 02 to 04. Just couldn't buy a win, but also he was taking on some fucking savages too. I mean, all those guys he lost to have done, have had a run in Pride FC. Really, Evan Tanner, and I would say probably Chael Sonnen. Evan Tanner for sure didn't have a great run in Pride FC, but he did okay for himself in rings. But he's finally someone who got some more wins under his belt than losses. He's beaten some names though, and Tim Kennedy, a young Tim Kennedy, but Jose Alandi Jones, Shoney Carter, Kendall Grove, Anthony Johnson, Henzo Gracie, and Dong Sik Yoon. As recently, I mean, he's been on a pretty tremendous run since 2005, having good, great, and fantastic fights. I mean, it's been a long time coming for Nate Corey. That's a lot of rings fights. That's from 2003 to 2007. That's a long time in rings, and he's finally on the big show. Granted, it's the prelim, but at 35 years old, he's got a tough fight against Alan Schoonover. Two obviously tough one alumnus. 10-4 is Alex Schoonover, who has done okay, but hasn't taken on, I think, the level of guys that obviously Nate Corey has. As Josh Haynes, another a tough three, obviously tough three finalist there, and Josh Haynes, he beat him. Ricardo Almeida, and then I think as far as like the toughest guys probably fought, was probably Anthony. And if I had to guess, it's definitely probably Anthony. But that's interesting. He's another guy who's had some pretty entertaining fights. It should be a pretty entertaining fight. I'm excited to see how that one plays out. Corey has the advantage, which I agree with the Blurget staff picks there. And Dan the Outlaw Hardy taking on Takanori Sato. Dan Hardy gonna be the big favorite to win this one. No surprise there. Dan Hardy, fucking savage, 3-1. His only loss was to Paul Daly, and that was a fun fight. Critical countdown, but he's beaten Crossley Gracie. No big deal. That's just Crossley Gracie. Split decision win over Jake Suklim, and then he's beaten Matt Brown, at Bushido, and Osaka 4 this year. Takanori Sato, on the other hand, 4-1. As he's just coming off a loss to Dong Kim earlier this year at St. Valentine's Day Massacre, but he's beaten Keita Nakamura, Shiko Yamashita, Masato Fujiwara, and a local fighter as well. I mean, this should be a pretty fun prelim fight. I do think Dan Hardy does have the advantage, and I think Vegas has gotten this one right. Just from a standing perspective, I think he's a lot more of a dangerous fighter than Takanori Sato is. As I don't expect this one to go the distance. I think Dan Hardy's going to knock him out in probably either the first or the second. We'll see what happens, though. Nottingham, England. Kido Doko, Japan. As Judo Wrestling, Kickboxing, SBG Ireland, Abiana Combat Club, minus 500, plus 390. As 22 years old, and Takanori Sato, 25 years old, and then the Outlaw Hardy. As they're both 6 foot, they're both weighed in at 183, presumably. As we'll see how this one goes. Big John McCarthy's a referee, ringside judges. Here we go. Hardy fails to find him his jab that hits Sato with a straight right. Hardy can't connect with a jab that hits a nice straight right hand. Sato looking for a takedown. Partially defends it, does Dan Hardy. Ends up popping on 1 foot as he can't get Hardy down, so he says to push him up against the ropes. Now looking for a judo throw. Can't get the judo throw either. So now he blocks it and then turns Sato around. So now he's the one who's on the ropes. As he's caught a knee inside the thigh. Did Takanori Sato. Hardy trying to get some dirty boxing going, but Sato using his wrestling to prevent any strikes from being done. A little nullifying action here in the first 2 minutes. Both guys are kind of tick for tat right now. As although pressed against the ropes, Sato hits a few small punches to the ribs. Again, trying to get some dirty boxing going, but Sato using his wrestling to prevent any strikes from being landed. There's a sharp stomp rather, to the foot. As now Big John separates him, brings him back to the center. Hardy moves in closer, looking to open up an attack. Jab is wide and hits a high right head kick to the side of the head. Wow, what a head kick. Looked like he was about angling for a takedown to Sato, but he couldn't take the initiative. There's a left hand and a leg kick. Jab lands and Sato avoids the big punch. Hardy fails to find him his jab and then scores the right roundhouse kick to the ribs. Hardy confidently moves in closer. Defensive jab from Sato hits. Can't hit the setup. Strikes and then scores with the right cross. Hardy rolls his shoulders, relaxes them, moves forward. Jab hits home from Hardy, then hits Sato with a right to the side of the ribs. Sato looking very attentive, pokes out a quick jab that hits. Hardy fails to land any of the strikes in a combo that ended with a slithering low kick. Sato may have been aiming to set up the shoot, but Hardy aggressively took the initiative. Hardy uses the left jab, but Sato avoids the big punch. Hardy throws a 2-punch combo, but Sato avoids both of them. Sato quickly shoots in on Hardy. He can't get past the sprawl of Hardy, and he has to give up on the takedown attempt. To land a hook to the body from Hardy fails to land. Sato seizing that chance, grabs Hardy into a clinch, looking for a judo throw, and again, that's not being taken down. Looking for it again, it's not happening. Hardy takes control after the block. Sato using his wrestling to smother Hardy, so stops him from using the dirty boxing. Hardy hits Sato with a couple of some short strikes to the side of the head while grappling. Hardy's looking to muscle Sato back over to against the ropes. Sato doesn't let himself be driven back though. Hardy tries to throw some close range strikes as they grapple, but the attempts are smothered by Sato. Hardy's trying to push Sato so his back is up against the ropes. Hardy manages it and controls Sato up against the ropes. Minute left now. Hardy goes for a knee to the thigh, but Sato wrestles free and circles back to the center. Hardy is still moving well, but he's definitely breathing a little deeper now. Sato chooses to shoot in on Hardy. Hardy stops the takedown with a great sprawl, steps back away safely. Hardy lands a jab, then hits Sato with a straight right. And that is the end of the first round. And the fight metrics have it to where, obviously, Dan Hardy has the advantage, I think, takedown-wise, or not, punches-wise, but also stuffing the takedowns. Sato's just getting outclassed here. He's got no shot, it looks like. As the second round starts off with a failed jab, but then hits Sato with a leg kick. Does Dan Hardy takedown attempt from Sato, and again, can't complete it. Hardy's left hopping in place, drives over against ropes, looking for the judo throw. Doesn't get the throw. Hardy instead wrestling his way into controlling the grapple. There's a hard foot stomp. A few right hands. Via some dirty boxing. And he's looking to get some more dirty boxing going. As now he's trying to dirty box Sato, but he wrestles free and circles back to the center. Sato's starting to breathe a little heavier now. Hardy studying his opponent, looking pretty relaxed, confident at this point. Shoots in for the takedown. Gets a hell of a leg, but Hardy remains standing, hopping on the other foot. Sato driving Hardy up against the ropes, looking for a judo throw. Doesn't work though. Hardy blocks it and turns it, so now Sato's the one up against the ropes. As Dan Hardy with a knee strike to the thigh, trying to prevent a knee to be thrown. Sato using the wrestling there. As Hardy keeps Sato up against the ropes. Using the wrestling, and then there's a hard foot stomp. Trying to get some dirty boxing going, but again, Sato using his wrestling to prevent anything from being launched. As Sato's controlled against the ropes, takes a few right hands. Trying to dirty box again, but Sato wrestles free, back into the center. Fatigue's starting to creep in on Hardy, starting to move noticeably more slower. Hardy's moving in closer, ready to attack. appeared to be going for a takedown, but Hardy took the initiative first as he fails to find his jab and hits Sato with a leg kick again. Sato with another takedown attempt that's not happening. Control up against the ropes to end out the round. Yeah, I mean, again, all Dan Hardy. Takanori Sato is, what, probably 0 for 11 on takedowns so far in the first 2 rounds. Not great. Not great at all. Final round. Sato looking for another takedown. 0 for 12. As Hardy almost got away with it, but not quite. He's left topping while Sato has a hold of a leg. Using that position to drive Hardy up against the ropes, looking for a judo throw. He's finally got it. He sweeps Hardy down to the ground as he's now in side control. There's a few right hands to the body. Unloads some right hands. Hardy deals with them comfortably. Sato blocks a attemptable guard. Tries to pound on Hardy. Doesn't allow that to happen though. Sato blocks Hardy as he tries to transition the guard. As Sato fires away with punches, but Hardy doesn't take it in and do damage. As Hardy pulls half guard. Sato throws a few right hands. He takes a moment to plan ahead. Sato punching down at Hardy, but they're easily taking on the gloves. Throws a few weak-looking punches, decides his next move. Tries to transition the guard, can't manage it. Sato punching down on Hardy. They're easily taking on the gloves, though. Wow, it looks like that's going to be the end of the round, with Takanori Sato winning that round for sure. Absolutely dominating that round. Finally, he got that takedown. He finally could win a round. I don't think it's going to be a split, but I think actually one judge will call it a split because Takanori Sato was pushing the pace with his takedown attempts. I don't know, though. This should be interesting. Yep, we got one for Sato, one for Hardy, and we got a draw. Wow. A split draw. That is tough. It's 3-1-1, 4-1-1 for Takanori Sato and Dan Hardy. Yeah, I mean, fair fucks to Takanori Sato for making that third round very, very close. And, looking at the entire fight, if you're going to judge it off of that, I guess you could give it to Sato. Looking at that just from landing more strikes and having the one takedown. But I think stuffing takedowns should be graded a lot more heavier than what they are. But it seems like, just if you throw out 13 takedowns and one of them lands and you can land 43 shots off of that one round, it definitely helps you. But I just feel like Dan Hardy, he won the round that mattered the most in the first round, and he definitely won the second. So I mean, if you're going off that, he won for sure. But that third round was quite dominant. If you're grading this off the entire fight, Takanori Sato probably won. Which is crazy to think about. And if you're looking at the fight metrics, that's crazy. What a crazy, interesting start to this one. A split draw to kick off the show. It's The Rock, Nate Corey taking on Alex Schoonover. 10-4, 11-9. Muay Thai Wrestling, Mixed Martial Arts, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, Minnesota Martial Arts Academy, -180, +140. Las Vegas, Nevada for Alex Schoonover. Gresham, Oregon. I don't know why I about said Gresham, New Orleans. Gresham, Oregon for Nate The Rock Corey. The Rock Nate Corey. Jesus Christ. As 6 foot, 205 for Nate Corey. 6'3", 205 for Alex Schoonover. Both in their 30s in the prelim. So we'll see what happens. This should be quite an entertaining fight, though. Both, well-rounded guys. Should be exciting. Fight begins. Corey throws a quick punch in the hit, though. Sees an opportunity. Schoonover punches. Looking to muscle him against ropes. He does so. Looking to go down low and grab both legs. He's got a takedown right a minute in. So Nate Corey's got a full guard. Begins working the pass side control. He keeps Schoonover in guard, does Corey. Deflects a couple punches from the bottom. As in guard now, Schoonover again trying to pass. He passes with ease, too. Wow, Schoonover looking to get mount. He almost gets mount, but Corey was ready in the scramble for position ensures. As Corey ends up having to pull guard, losing out in the scramble. So we're back where we started. Pounds away with right hands. As Schoonover gets pushed back. Gets out of guard, and he's left standing above Corey. As Corey hits a sharp kick to the calf from the bottom. That's crazy. He's trying to secure ground position. Can't hold Corey down, and the scramble begins again. Schoonover's up first and quickly grabs Corey, pushing him against the ropes. Looking to go down low and grab both legs again. This time, Corey maintains a good base and keeps a solid base there, blocking it. As looking for it again. Again, doesn't get the trip either. Corey wrestling instead wrestles his way into controlling the grapple. Now he's with Schoonover up against the ropes, looking for a trip takedown. He's got it. It's a nice inside leg trip too. Now Schoonover's one to force a pull of guard. As Corey looks to pass guard into side control. He gains side control after getting his leg free from half guard. Pounds away, landing several clean blows on the process to Schoonover. Doing it again. As the strikes are hard enough to force Schoonover to roll and roll to the side, giving up his back. That's a terrible idea. Got both hooks in, looking for the rear naked choke. Schoonover fights it off though. Pounds away with right hands. Doesn't really do any damage there. As Corey tries to pound on Schoonover, but none of the blows have anything degree of power. As well, he's looking to improve his chances of survival by breaking. Oh, he does. He absolutely does. Wow, okay. So there's some pounds away, but is unable to land many clean shots from the back. Few of the shots land clean now. Isn't trapped by the strikes. Blocks attempt to roll him off his back. Corey gets both hooks in. Is now a really dominant position. Tries to pound on Schoonover, but none of the blows land with any degree of power. And that's the end of the first. Yeah, I mean, Nate Corey looked like it was not going to be his fight to win in the beginning. Once he got back up after the scramble and got the takedown off the trip, it's all Nate Corey doing a dominant performance on top. It's really giving a nice ground and pound performance. As we'll see what happens with the rest. Yeah, fucking crazy round. That was awesome. Second round now. Schoonover comes forward. There's a kind of jab from Corey. He can't hit the step left jab and scores the right cross though. Schoonover shoots in on Corey. Corey stops his takedown with a great sprawl, steps back away safely. Corey is starting to slow down a touch, perhaps conserving low energy. First time now, Schoonover starting to breathe a little heavier as Corey lands a left hand and the right hand. There's a quick punch doesn't land though. Schoonover is able to grab Corey. There's a nice knee strike in the grapple as he hits that on the side of the stomach of Nate Corey. Tries to wrestle Corey backwards against the ropes. He does so. He's got him pinned on the ropes. Looking for the takedown. He's got it. As Corey's on his back, pulls guard. Schoonover's trying to work past the guard. Can't quite manage to get past guard on that attempt. He's trying to sweep from the bottom. Doesn't get anywhere with that sweep either. Trying to pass guard. Struggles but cannot find a way past it. And then he's just stuck in guard for pretty much the duration of the round. It looks like. Oh, but Corey's ready for the pass attempt. It looks like we're about to... Oh, yep. Keeps him firmly in guard. Looking for a sweep. But that gets blocked. As, yeah, but that's a little bit more of a conservative round. It's a close one. But Schoonover, thanks to the takedown, won that round. As, yeah, that round got the fans going as well. As the final round, here we go. Corey fails to find on his jab. Lands the big right hand, though. Schoonover steps forward, looking to strike. There's a counter left hand, though. Schoonover fails to find on his jab, and hits Corey with a straight right. A little fatigue may be creeping in now. Nate Corey starting to move noticeably more slower. Takedown attempt from Schoonover, and successful, too. Corey pulls guard. Schoonover now has completed 3 takedowns. Great job on these takedowns. It has Alex been as trying to work past guard. He eventually passes, but it's only the half guard. Schoonover now trying to pass by getting his leg free and get better position. Corey can't keep his opponent in half guard, and Schoonover gains side control. Throws a few right hands, takes a moment to plan ahead, tries to transition the guard, can't manage it. In control now, inside control. Schoonover is trying to get mount. He finds himself unable to get mount on that attempt. Corey tries to transition the guard, can't manage it. He's looking for mount. He tries to get mount again, but Corey was ready for it and immediately starts to scramble results in Schoonover being on his back pulling half guard. He's losing out on the scramble. So Corey pounds away on Schoonover, deals with the blows fairly easy though. Nate Corey's pretty much blown up at this point as he unloads some right hands, but Schoonover deals with them comfortably to end out the round. Yeah, that's another one. That was Schoonover had the takedown. He did a good job as passing and almost got in the mount, but Corey with the scramble ended up winning on the scramble and he ended up landing more shots in that round. That's a tough one to call. You know, Schoonover, I think, had the takedowns, and I think him losing out in the first round, I would probably give that round to Nate Corey, actually. So I would probably give the first and the third to Nate Corey, and I think he should win. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I mean, that was a really great fight. Great fight there, 12-9 for Nate Corey, 10-5 for Alex Schoonover. It's awesome to see the tough one guys doing great and pulling off a great fight. Giving thanks to Nate Corey, praise his team at Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Academy, his favorite sponsor on fans who can't support him. Nate Corey celebrates his winning his debut fight in Pride FC. Main card opener, Pete Drago Sal taking on Chad Saunders, 8-4, 13-6, Orlando, Florida, Bayshore, New York, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Wrestling, Caesar Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, Stream Couture, -110, +100, 5'10", 183, 5'11", 183, 38 years old is Chad Saunders, 24 is Pete Dragosel. Dick Nuguma is our referee, ringside judges. Here we go. Saunders gets in close and clinches with Sal. Tries to wrestle Sal backwards up against the ropes. Manages to control Sal up against the ropes. Sal's trapped there. Looking like they're just gonna trap each other against the ropes now, looks like. As trying to maintain control, but Cell wrestles his way out of trouble and turns it so now Saunders is back up against the ropes. Drop it down low, Cell secures a leg, starts looking for the takedown as Saunders left hopping on the other leg. And using that leg to drag Saunders down to the mat where he's caught in guard. Trying to pass guard, get better position. He passes to half guard. Some right hands, but Saunders deals them comfortably, trying to get the full guard on Cell, but doesn't get anywhere to attempt. Some small strikes, clearly just taking a moment to catch his breath. As he blocks an attempt to move from half guard to full guard. Cell throws a few right hands, takes a moment to plan ahead. Looking to transition to full guard, but again, Saunders, that ain't happening. He's not doing that on the bottom. As fires away with punches, Saunders doesn't take any undue damage. Cell blocks an attempt to move from half guard to full guard, fires off a few right hands, catches his breath, blocks an attempt to move from half guard to full guard. Nakamura is going to stand him back up with 4 minutes left. Saunders moves in the clinch, trying to push him against the ropes again. He can't manage it though. Cell fights it off. Saunders is looking to muscle Cell backwards against the ropes. He can't move Cell at all. Finds himself being out-wrestled again. Cell trying for the knee, but Saunders defends himself well, trying to muscle him against the ropes. He's finally got him up against the ropes again, smothering him at this point. They remain there, dirty boxing each other for a minute. Saunders looks like he's trying to maintain good control via his wrestling skills, but Cell proves to be too good and manages to turn him around on his in dominant position, looking for another takedown. He's got it. Inside control, too. Fires off a handful of punches as they try to pull guard on Cell. That's not happening. Throwing a couple of punches to the body there is Pete Cell. Pounds away, but Saunders is in trouble with the strikes. I mean, that was all Pete Cell. Dominant performance. Really, Chad Saunders, the only thing he could do was push him up against the ropes and keep him there for a little bit. And that's when he landed his 22 jab shots. But yeah, Pete Cell, dominant performance. 2 for 2 on takedowns. He's able to stand up with him and take him to the ground. It's not an exciting one, but especially after the last fight we just had. So hopefully they can turn it up, but I doubt it. They come together in clinch. Saunders manages to get control of the clinch using his wrestling skills. Saunders trying to push him against the ropes. Saunders does it, and Cell's stuck with his back to the ropes, trying to smother him up against the ropes, but he reverses it and pushes Saunders backwards against the ropes instead. Although pressed against the ropes, Saunders still hits a few small punches to the ribs. Cell tries to take Saunders down. He cannot stop that takedown, as Cell throws a few strikes to outfit him. Saunders trying to transition to guard, but can't manage it. Trying to go from second to the mount. He goes for mount, but Saunders starts to scramble before positioning. Saunders is left turtled up with Cell behind him. Halfway point in the second round, Cell is too slow to stop Saunders from getting back up. Cell's starting to slow down a touch, perhaps conserving his energy. Saunders is now starting to slow down, conserving his energy as well. Cell gets close up to clinch, trying to muscle Saunders up against the ropes. He achieves it, pinning Saunders up against the ropes. He takes a hard foot stomp there. Cell stomps down on his opponent's foot. Cell looks for a foot stomp, but Saunders takes that opportunity to turn them around so that he's in a dominant position. Minute left, Saunders exerts total control, keeping Cell smothered against the ropes. Saunders and Cell remain up against the ropes for around the next minute, doing little other than occasional short punches. Saunders exerts total control, keeping Cell smothered against the ropes. They remain up against the ropes until they are till the bell, posturing and throwing occasional short punches to the body. That one was a little bit more evenly matched. Chad Saunders landed more shots, but again, Pete Cell with a takedown. That's a tough one. Tough one to call. I would give a slight advantage to Pete Cell. As a final round, Saunders may have been able to get in close, but Cell aggressively took the initiative. As there's a nice jab as he catches Saunders with a stunning right hook, and he knocks him down with the right hook in the third round. Cell starts pounding away on Saunders, looking to finish him off. Cell unloads some big right hands, landing several shots that clearly hurt Saunders. Cell fires away with punches, does little in the way of damage, blocks a tentacle guard, trying to pound on Saunders, but again, all the blows are comfortably dealt with. Blocks Saunders and tries to transition to guard. It looks like Cell's not going to be able to finish the fight, but he definitely secured the win there with that knockdown. Trying to pound on Saunders, and the blows don't have any degree of power. Cell blocks Saunders and tries to transition to guard. Cell fires away with punches, but Saunders doesn't take any undue damage. Saunders tries to pull guard on Cell, but doesn't get in with the attempt. Nakamura is going to stand it back up with a minute 46. Cell is definitely slowing down. This guy's thing is being challenged, as he can't connect with the setup strikes. There's another right hook, though. They can't connect with the setup left jab. Hits a nice straight right hand, though. Saunders steps in, looking to work his way into a down position. The clinch. He's trying to push Cell back as they get up against the ropes, as Saunders manages to control it and control Cell up against the ropes. Cell's just blown up at this point to end out the round there with a couple of body shots. Yeah, I mean, Pete Cell dominated that third. Yeah, decision win for Pete Cell there. What a win in his debut, 9-4. It's rated poor, though, as 13-7 for Chad Saunders, who's now lost 3 straight. Yep, and not looking good for Chad Saunders as far as his time in Brad FC. Giving thanks to Pete Sell, praise his team at Caesar Grace that Jiu-Jitsu is very responsible to all of the fans who came out to support him. He celebrates his Pride debut victory and says that he's already looking forward to the next fight. As our next bout, Jake Ellenberg taking on Diego, the Nightmare Sanchez. 8-3, 10-2, 25 years old, 22 years old. Omaha, Nebraska, Albuquerque, New Mexico. 5'11", 183, 5'9", 183. Both wrestler, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys. American Top Team, Extreme Couture for Diego Sanchez, who's at minus 200. This is a close one. Close one to call, but I do agree with Vegas there. Sanchez is the more skilled fighter of the two. Hideki Naguma is a referee, ringside judges. Both fighters came in at the same weight yesterday, but Ellenberg clearly has a significant weight advantage now. Fight begins. Sanchez deliberately does not touch gloves. Ellenberg comes forward, and the two fighters start trading blows. There's a counter jab, but doesn't connect for Sanchez. A 1-2 from Ellenberg fails to land. Sanchez wants to grapple, appears willing to aggressively come in and do so, even if it means risking some strikes. There's a punch, but doesn't hit. Sanchez is able to grab Ellenberg, trying to push him to the ropes. He does so. Looking to go down low as he drops down low and grabs a hold of a leg, as Ellenberg remains standing on the other foot, and he sweeps the leg. Does Sanchez, and he's got side control. Looking for an arm triangle. Ellenberg fights off the arm triangle. As he blocks, Ellenberg tries to transition the guard, looks to get the mount. Ellenberg fights the attempted mount off, and they wind up scrambling for position. Scramble sees Sanchez up first, and he's quick to wrestle Ellenberg up against the ropes yet again. Traps him against the ropes. There's a sharp stomp to the foot. Now looking to go down low and grab as both his opponent's legs this time. It's another successful takedown for Sanchez, as he takes the back of Ellenberg directly off the takedown. As Ellenberg prevents the body triangle, blocks him to roll him off his back. Tries to get a body triangle applied, but can't quite manage it. As Sanchez looking for the rear naked choke without the body triangle, and Ellenberg defends himself. Attempts to turn and get Sanchez off his back. He turns him, and they gets him off his back. They're both free. They start scrambling back to their feet. Oh, wow, what a great job by Ellenberg. Can't connect with the setup jab, and hits a nice straight right hand that lands hard. Sanchez comes in off the takedown. He's got it, 3 for 3 on takedowns. Ellenberg has terrible takedown defense, it looks like, as he starts trying to work to get past guard. Gets past, but Ellenberg stops him in half guard. Fires off a handful of punches, each easily being blocked with gloves. Ellenberg using the underhooks to work some separation, then they quickly scramble. He may regret that choice, as he gives Sanchez the perfect opportunity to get side control. Sanchez keeps Ellenberg guessing a few quick strikes. He tries to pull guard on Sanchez, looking for a armbar out of side control. As Ellenberg again fights that off. Transition to guard, but can't manage it. Inside control, Sanchez throws a couple punches designed to keep him guessing. He's trying to transition the guard. There's a few left hands, mainly just trying to catch his breath, trying to move the guard. Sanchez doesn't allow it. I mean, dominant performance there from Diego Sanchez, where Hideki Naguma stands it back up for 12 seconds. Oh, Sanchez looking for another takedown in the round. He does. Oh, my God. Gets a takedown with 7 seconds left. Complete domination for Diego Sanchez. Unbelievable. So the second round, Ellenberg fails to find him his jab, but it hits a crunching right hook, though. Man, I'm waiting for Ellenberg to knock him down with one of those shots. As Sanchez slips past the right hook, attempt to attack, so a good left hook of his own. First time now, Ellenberg's starting to breathe a little heavier. Both fighters meet in the center. Sanchez slips past the right hook, attempt and counters with a jab and a left hook that is avoiding the last second. Sanchez steps forward, willing to take a few shots and gets close enough to wrestle. Ellenberg fails to find out his jab. Again, another straight right hand that lands hard. Ellenberg throws a punch to Sanchez, who is equal to it. Clear opportunity for Sanchez to be able to move it fast and clinch up with Ellenberg. Using his wrestling skills, Sanchez trying to push Ellenberg up against the ropes. Sanchez can't do it, though, ends up being out-wrestled. Ellenberg tries to reap a leg with a sharp sweep in order to take him down. Unsuccessful, Sanchez maintains a good solid base, looking for it again. And again, Sanchez blocks it. As Ellenberg seems to initiate a break, the two fighters, Ellenberg just like, fuck it, I'm not going to be able to take him down with the trip. Ellenberg comes forward, walking down Sanchez. There's a counter jab. As he can't connect with the jab, it hits Sanchez with the beauty of a straight right. Both fighters step in to strike. Sanchez doesn't hit the left hand. Right hand's blocked from Ellenberg. A few deep breaths portray that Ellenberg's starting to get into the deeper reaches of his gas tank now. As Ellenberg, looking confident, shortening the range, looking to strike. He's doing a great job standing with Diego Sanchez. I will say that. Doing a tremendous job. That's probably the one positive thing Ellenberg's been doing. As there's a quick punch, doesn't land though. Sanchez looked like he was going to step in and grapple. Ellenberg took the initiative first. Quick punch doesn't land though. Going forward, Sanchez is willing to take up some shots. So that means gets close enough to grapple. Can't connect with the jab. That's a nice straight right hand though. as Ellenberg is looking ragged in this minute 20 left in the second. He's got a whole other round to worry about as Sanchez gets a hold of him without taking too much damage. Trying for the knee strike, but Ellenberg blocks it, trying to push him against the ropes. He's got him pushed up against the ropes. Looking to go down low, grabs his opponent, both his opponent's legs, trying to take him down the mat. He does so, no problem. Takes side control and lands several clean shots in the process, in out the second round. I mean, that one, again, a little bit more of a performance for Ellenberg, but again, it's just not enough. Diego Sanchez just completely outclassed them. Final round, Ellenberg initiates exchange strikes. There's a counter right hand from Diego Sanchez. Throws two quick punches, doesn't hit either of them though, lands a pair of tentative jabs. There's a punch, but Sanchez was equal to it. Exchange of strikes. Happens right in the center of the ring, nothing comes of it. They engage, as Sanchez slipping past the right hook and counters with the right cross. There's a few gulps of breath, Sanchez giving first hit and he's starting to tire a touch. There's a weak flipped left-hand jab. Quick punch, doesn't land, no. Shoulders hunched. Ellenberg setting his opponent, looking for that opportunity. As Sanchez wants to grapple, appears willing to aggressively come in and do so, even that means risking getting hit. Sanchez gets a hold of him, trying to wrestle him against the ropes. Ellenberg does a lot of stuff be driven back, though. As Ellenberg looks like he doesn't have a lot left to give. Big knee strike to the body. Looking to muscle up against the ropes, he does so. It's going to be a takedown. Yep, he's got it. He's got side control, too. Throws a few weak-looking punches aside his next move. Fires up a handful of punches. Again, looking to get from side control to mount. He can't get mount. Ellenberg is concentrating on defending as well as he can, doing a great job of holding Sanchez in side control. Looking to get from side control to mount. He almost gets mount, but Ellenberg was ready for and the scramble begins. Sanchez ends up holding a waist like Ellenberg, who's kneeling. There's a big left hand, landing several shots that clearly hurt Ellenberg to end out the fight. Yeah, I mean, you're winning that decision. No problem there for Diego Sanchez. Tremendous job, as it'll be 11-2. 8-4 will be Jake Ellenberg. As Diego Sanchez gives a name check to everyone at Extreme Couture. All of his very responsive, all of his friends, family, and supporters. As he wants to fight next, he once again calls out Jake Shields, adding that he's ducking me because he knows he'll lose. Looks like we'll have to set up Jake Shields and Diego Sanchez. As Hellboy, Jackie Manzo taking on Pat Bam Bam Healy, 15-8, 16-3. And another lightweight battle here, as on the card from Oslo, Norway, St. Louis, Missouri. 24 years old, 28 years old, wrestling, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Golden Glory for Jackie Manzo, wrestling for the pit rather for Pat Bam Bam Healy. -110, Pat Healy having the slight advantage. I agree with that. So we'll see what happens here. Deki Nagumo's a referee, ringside judges. And here we go. Touch of gloves. Combo ends with a head kick attempt. Fails to land for Jakeem Hansen. Healy comes in and grabs Hansen, looking to muscle against the ropes. He does so. Healy looks like he's going for some dirty boxing, but Hansen is aware of the danger and using the wrestling to prevent anything from happening there. Although pressed against the ropes, Hansen hits some few small punches to the ribs. Hansen waits for Healy to try and throw some strikes. Quickly turns him, so now he's creating enough separation to escape from the ropes. They stand and trade in the center of the ring, but neither fighter can land a good shot. Hansen looking confident, shortening the range. A jab lands from Hansen, but Healy evades the big punch. Looking for the takedown. Hansen almost stops the takedown, but it's left hopping on one leg, while Healy has to hold the other one. Looking to go with Hansen not going down, though. Healy settles for pushing him against the ropes. Trying to get some dirty boxing, but again, Hansen using his wrestling to nullify any potential damage. He's trapped up against the ropes. Healy punishes him with some dirty boxing. Healy trying to keep Hansen up against the ropes with some dirty boxing. Hansen works enough separation to slip out and back to the center we go. Hansen slips past the right hook attempt, countering with a jab and a solid right hand. A quick exchange of strikes does not lead to anything. Healy chooses to shoot in on Hansen. Healy couldn't complete the single leg, but doesn't end up standing, holding a leg while Hansen hops in place as Healy using the position to drive Hansen up against the ropes. Hansen's trapped against the ropes, and Healy hits him with some short left uppercuts. We're moving into the second half of the round. Healy tries to keep Hansen up against the ropes for some dirty boxing, but Hansen works enough separation so he can slip out and back away to the center. Healy closes the distance, obviously looking to strike. Healy throws a quick 1-2, but doesn't land either blow. Healy shoots in, looking for the takedown. Healy gets a hold of a leg, but Hansen remains standing, hopping on the other foot. With Hansen not going Hansen not going down, Healy settles for pushing him against the ropes. Hansen's trapped against the ropes, and it's left. And he hits him with a short left uppercut, rather, as Healy tries some dirty boxing, but Hansen, seizing that chance to create some space, and breaks free. Healy looked like he was about to step in and grapple, but Hansen simply took the initiative first. Hansen throws a quick punch, doesn't land, though. The fighters go toe-to-toe with strikes, but neither land anything significant in exchange. Hanson comes forward, walking down Healy, hits a pair of tentative jabs. Jab hits home from Hanson and catches Healy with a right hook. Hanson comes forward and the two fighters exchange strikes. Healy fires off a counter jab, doesn't connect though. Hanson fails the opponent with jab, then lands a roundhouse kick to the body. Hanson comes forward, looking to force a strike exchange. Healy manages to counter a jab. Hanson hits a left hand but finds nothing but air on the big right. Hanson moves in on Healy, preparing to throw. A jab is wide from Hanson, then hits Healy with a body kick. Two left hands from Hanson. Healy avoids the big punch though. Hanson confidently moves in closer, looking to throw some strikes. Healy may have been setting up to shoot, but Hanson aggressively took the initiative. Hanson using a left jab but misses the vicious right hand. A minute left. Hanson lands two left hands, but misses the big right hand that follows up. Jab hits home from Hanson and hits the Healy with a straight right to end out the round. Yeah, it's a close one, but I think Jakeem stuffing the takedowns and doing a great job as far as landing more shots. I think he won the round. We'll see what happens though with the rest of the fight here as we're back underway. Quick exchange of strikes doesn't lead to anything happening. Hanson is starting to slow down a touch, perhaps conserving some energy. Stepping in, Hanson aggressively gets a down position and clinch, looking to take him down to the ground. Doesn't get the takedown. Healy instead wrestling his way into controlling the grapple. Using his wrestling skills, Healy's trying to push him against the ropes. He does so. Goes for some dirty boxing, but Hanson's aware of the danger, using the wrestling to prevent any damage from happening. That's a sharp right to the ear, though. That's tough. Healy goes to use some dirty boxing, but Hanson is aware of the danger again, using the wrestling to prevent any damage from happening. Halfway point in the round, Healy's trying to get Hanson up against the ropes for some dirty boxing, but Hanson works enough space to slip out and circle back into the center. There's a left hand and a right cross from Hanson, left hand and a right hook. And there is a gash underneath the high of Healy, as Hanson with a jab and a nice straight right hand. What a great job by Hanson to pretty much win that round thanks to damage. As the two fighters tentative there, as Healy doesn't find the mark of the right hook. Hanson doesn't find the mark on his right hook either. Hanson missing all the strikes of the combo then with a kick to the body. And Healy's ready for it and catches the kick, as Hanson hopping on one foot, trying to balance, as Healy looking for the takedown. He just drives up against the ropes instead to end out the second round. Yeah, I mean, that one, a little bit of a dull affair. They both went for takedowns though, and they both missed. But Jakeem Hanson, because of the damage done, and he landed one more shot, I think he won the round. I mean, this was a very, very close fight. We'll see what happens in this third round. Final round. Healy looks like he was angling for a takedown attempt, but couldn't take the initiative. There's a jab and a right hook from Hanson. Moving forward, constantly trying to pressure Healy into exchanging strikes. There's a left hand from Healy. Fails to find him his jab, but he hits a body kick on Healy. Does Jakeem Hanson. Two fighters engage with strikes. Nothing significant lands. Tentative jab from Healy lands, as he connects with a jab. But he can't connect with a jab, rather, but he hits a crunching leg kick. Wow. Just trying to break a leg out here. As Hanson throws a two-punch combo, but Healy avoids both of them. Healy seizes that chance and grabs Hanson, trying to push him up against the ropes. He's got him stuck there. Trying to go for some dirty boxing, but again, Hanson using the wrestling to prevent any damage from happening. Pins him against the ropes, hits a couple of short, nice right hands to the side of the head. That's Healy. That's halfway point in the third, trying to push him. Is starting to have to push himself now. His corner responds by urging him on a little louder. Yeah, definitely doesn't want to lose this round. As Healy still moving well, but he's definitely breathing a little deeper now. As Healy looking very tentative, pokes out a quick jab. Throws some strikes and a fast leg kick, but Healy was equal to all of them. As Hanson was too aggressive, and that last kick is caught. Looking for the takedown, is unable to complete the takedowns, push him up against the ropes instead. Again, looking for the dirty boxing, and again, Hanson using the wrestling to prevent anything from happening. Just using that wrestling to all fight all the damage. But good job there by Hanson. Look, lands a few quick punches to the side of the head there. Trying to get some dirty boxing going, but Hanson again using the wrestling to all fight that from happening. Yeah, that's another one that was close. But Jakeem Hanson, because of the more strikes and because he stuffed the takedown, I think he won the round. I mean, that's a close one. Jakeem Hanson winning by unanimous decision, but look how close this fight was. Like, from the fight metrics. That's fucking crazy. Like, it's just because Jakeem Hanson landed a handful of more strikes, they both couldn't complete a takedown. Tough loss for Pat Healy. But that's a good fight, though. Good lightweight fight. And a good win for Jakeem Hanson. Jakeem gives a name check to everyone at Golden Glory, all of his favorite sponsors, all of his friends, family, and supporters. I think that really goes to show how much a fight camp can really help you. Golden Glory, being able to train with some of the best kickboxers in the world definitely helped him out there to be able to stand up with Pat Healy and do some good stuff. As Jakeem Hanson says, it was a tough fight, gives a show of respect to Pat Healy. I mean, this is going to be a fucking slaughter of Gilbert, Melendez, and Daisuke Nakamura here. 14-4, 9-4, wrestling, boxing, catch wrestling, Abiani Combat Club, a.k.a. Santa Ana, California, Tokyo, Japan. 25 years old, 29 years old, or 27 years old, rather. 5'9", 161, 5'11", 161, minus 6'10". That's tough. Yeah, I mean, Daisuke doesn't have a chance. Refereeing this bout is Iwan Takawa, and then our judges at ringside, as about to fight from a home crowd. Nakamura, unsurprisingly, gets a loud ovation from the crowd here. Round one begins. Two fighters engage strikes, neither can land anything worthwhile. Two combatants meet in the center, and they start to strike. As Melendez lands a left hook, Nakamura hits a jab, but has a right hook blocked. Melendez shoots in for the takedown. Nakamura almost got away, but not quite, as he left hopping while Melendez holds a hold of the leg. Melendez drives Nakamura up against the ropes. Looking for a takedown, Melendez drops down and gets a hold of a leg. Nakamura remains standing on the other foot, though, not for long. Yep, and he's got side control. There's a knee strike to the ribs. Another knee strike to the ribs. A third one. Fourth one. Oh, my God. A fifth one. There's one now just above the hip. Another knee strike to the ribs. He is just destroying the ribs of Nakamura here. He's trying to transition the guard, but can't manage it. Referee stands to back up. A quick exchange of strikes not producing damage. He's breathing very, very hard now after getting his ribs destroyed. Initiating a clinch, trying to buy some time. Bad idea. Now he's trying to get pushed up against the ropes by Melendez. Looking to go down low and grab both legs. He's got it, and it's another side control. Trying to sweep. Melendez, that ain't happening. Another knee strike. Oh my God, just more knees to the ribs. Punching down on Nakamura, they're easily taking on the gloves. Throws a few right hands, takes a moment to plan ahead. Throws a few strikes, clearly just slowing things down so he can catch his breath. Blocks Nakamura as he tries to sweep from the bottom rather. As throws a few right hands to the body. Blocks Nakamura as he tries to transition the guard. Again, no progress being made. They're standing back up. Exchange of strikes happens right in the center of the ring. Neither fighter can land anything good. I would love for Melendez to actually finish this fight. Like, this is kind of shitty that he's not finishing it. He's just kneeing them to death with the ribs. But I would love for him to go to mount and just finish the fight at this point. Well, Melendez is in the pocket. Nakamura buys for feet. He's left open. Throws a two-punch combo, but Nakamura avoids both of them. Comes in looking to strike. There's a jab that's wide, but he scores with the right cross. Wow, he's got a cut. What a fucking great job from Nakamura for having a cut above the eye. Two fighters stand and trade strikes. Neither can land anything significant. Minute left. Jab is wide, but then hits a nice straight right hand. Takedown attempt, and he's got it. Nakamura pulls guard to end out the round. Oh, Nakamura looking for an arm from the bottom. That would have been crazy. What a way to end the round for Nakamura, just desperately trying to get an arm. Yeah, I mean, besides the cut, flawless round for Melendez. No surprise. But we'll see what happens with that cut, though. If Nakamura can keep it, can reopen it. Melendez moving in closer, ready to attack. About to see a shot from Nakamura, but Melendez was more aggressive, took the initiative. As Melendez connects with a nice jab and catches Nakamura with the right hook. Steps in looking to unleash. Nakamura looked like he was angling for a takedown attempt, but couldn't take the initiative. Melendez fails to find out his jab. It hits Nakamura with a straight right. There's a 1-2, but Melendez was equal to it. Seizing that opportunity, Melendez shoots in. Nakamura almost steps in and stops the takedown, but he's left hopping on one leg while Melendez does hold the other one. As Melendez drives him up against ropes, there's a hard foot stomp. As he grabs a leg, looking to take him down. He does so, and he's back in side control. Trying to sweep from the side control from the bottom, but that ain't happening. Attempts to move to guard. Nakamura fights off the attempt, and they wind up scrambling for position. Melendez ends up pushed down on Nakamura, his face up in a turtle up position. Nakamura gets up sharply, seeing that Melendez was prepared to throw a vicious soccer kick to the head. As now Melendez starting to slow down a touch. Gets in close, clinching with Nakamura. There's a knee strike to the body, trying to wrestle Nakamura against the ropes. He does so. Looking for a trip. It's a beautiful trip. Gets side control out of it, too. Throws a few strikes, clearly just slowing things down. There's a knee strike just above the hip. Hits a knee strike to the ribs, but doesn't connect properly because Nakamura is moving too much. Melendez fires off some rights, but Nakamura isn't driven the strikes. End of the second round, obviously, give him Melendez there. Final round, Melendez gets it close enough to grapple. Trying to muscle up against the ropes. He does so. Now he's got him back against the ropes, looking for a trip. Great inside leg trip. Sees Nakamura get thrown to the mat, and Melendez is left in half guard. Melendez throws some small strikes, clearly just taking a moment to catch his breath. Throws a few right hands, takes a moment to plan ahead. Trying to sweep from the bottom of half guard, doesn't budge Melendez, though. Yeah, I mean, Melendez is just going to finish this fight pretty much at will here. Blocks. Nakamura tries to transition the guard, trying to get out of half guard into the position. Just a ploy, though, and there's a scramble again. Scramble leaves Nakamura turtle up behind Melendez. So there's some big right hands. Nakamura's covering up well. Oh, there's a couple of big shots there. 2 or 3 heavy shots that rock Nakamura. Fires away with punches. Only finding a few that are able to get through, though. Wow, Melendez does not finish the fight. Kind of crazy. I mean, fair fucks to Daisuke Nakamura. They're hanging in there from getting killed. He didn't get finished. Melendez getting the win, obviously. It's a good fight. 15-4 for Gilbert Melendez. 9-6, or 9-5 rather, for Daisuke Nakamura. Giving thanks, Gilbert Melendez praises his team at AKA American Kickboxing Academy. So your sponsors and all on the fans who came and support him. He's asked who he'd like to face next. Implies that he has a lot of respect for the skills of Joe Hurley. Says that he thinks that'd be a good fight. Go main event time. It's Crazy Horse Charles Bennett taking on the Moonwolf Ramino Sato. Freestyle fighter and Crazy Horse Bennett. Submission wrestling for Ramino Sato. 12-10, 22-9-1. Not an impressive record for Charles Bennett, but I think he's going to bring it to Ramino Sato. We shall see. He's got no team either. As Hideki Nagumo's a referee, ringside judges. Loud ovation for Sato as he's making his entrance. Here we go. They touch gloves. Bennett fails to find out his jab. It's a nice straight left hand that lands hard. Sato may have been setting up to shoot, but Bennett aggressively took the initiative as a jab is wide from Bennett, and he scores a left cross that lands hard. That's the thing. Bennett hits hard, man. He can knock somebody out, especially at 161. Bennett almost stops the takedown, but he's left hopping on one leg. Sato has to hold the other one. With Bennett not going down, Sato just specials him against the ropes. Now looking to wrap his arms rather, around his opponent's legs, looking for the takedown. He's got it. Bennett is left turtled up on his hands and knees. Sato's on top of him. Sato turns himself slightly and appears to be working to set up an attack on the legs. Oh my god, we're looking for a twister. He's got the twister. Fuck yeah. We get a twister. The second ever twister. Hell yeah. Ramino Sato with the win. Fuck yeah. So, feel bad for Charles Bennett losing his debut, but it's by a twister. It's fucking awesome. What a co-main. Hell yeah. As Ramino Sato thanks everyone connected to Peresta for helping him prepare for the fight. Sponsors supporting him financially, asked who he wants to fight next. He says he'll fight whoever they put in front of him and thinks BJ Penn will be a particularly good contest. That's a crazy fight to request. Fucking BJ Penn's a savage. Main event time. Chuck the Iceman Liddell taking on Dan Endo Anderson in the trilogy. Will Dan Anderson go 3-0 against Chuck Liddell, or will Chuck finally beat Dan Anderson? This should be quite the fight. Both have been desperately need a win. Both have been kind of towards the tail end of their careers. Well, at least Chuck Liddell kind of is. Dan Anderson, not so much. I think Dan's got a couple more years left, but Chuck, I don't know. It's not looking too hot for him. It's Big John McCarthy's a referee. Ringside judges. They both win in at 205, but Liddell's much bigger now. Round 1 begins. Liddell looking confident, shortening the range. As Liddell throws a quick punch, doesn't hit it though. As Liddell can't connect with the jab, but he lands a vicious right cross, and he knocks him down with that right cross with 20 seconds into the fight. Liddell knows that's a golden opportunity, quickly pouncing on Henderson, looking to finish him off, raining down punches. Fires away. Henderson's clearly hurt by a couple of nasty-looking punches. He keeps him guessing a few quick strikes. He blocks the attempt to pull guard. As Henderson's still covering up, only a couple of shots managed to come through. Henderson trying to pull guard on Liddell, but doesn't get any with the attempt. There's a few right hands, mainly just trying to catch his breath. Liddell fires away with punches, but Henderson deals with them fairly well. As Henderson tries to pull guard on Liddell, doesn't get any with the attempt. Oh, looking for a knee bar now. Henderson stops Liddell from hooking the leg. Henderson trying to transition to guard, can't manage it. Tries to pound on Henderson, but none of the blows land with any degree of power. Liddell blocks the attempt to pull guard. Liddell pounds with rights, but doesn't do much and doesn't do a great deal of damage. Henderson tries to move to guard, but Liddell doesn't allow it. Liddell fires with rights, does little in the way of damage. As Henderson trying to pull guard on Liddell, doesn't get in with the attempt. Liddell fires off some right hands, but Henderson isn't trouble with the strikes. Blocks the attempt to pull guard. Throws a few right hands, takes a moment to plant ahead. Henderson tries to transition to the guard, but can't manage it. Throws a few right hands to the body there. As we have Liddell firing off the punches, and each are easily being blocked with gloves. Henderson tries to move to guard, but Liddell doesn't allow that from being applied there. As Liddell tries to pound on Henderson, none of the blows with land with any degree of power. Tries to blocks rather, attempt to pull guard. Doesn't even try, he does it. As he pounds with some right hands, doesn't do much damage. As Henderson tries to pull guard on Liddell, but doesn't get with the attempt. Big John McCarthy decides that there's a lack of progress being made, stands it back up. Exchange strikes does nothing. Exchange strikes, but nothing really gets through, rather. Jesus, as Liddell steps forward looking to strike. Counter left hand from Henderson. 1-2 from Liddell, fans the land. Steps forward looking to exchange some strikes. There's a jab from the exchange from Henderson. Can't hit the sub left jab, but there's the big right hand. Attacking with strikes, Henderson tries to jab but misses. Combo that ends with a kick to the legs fails to land from Liddell. Minute left now. Henderson steps in to strike. Both fighters strike, but nobody manages to land anything. Henderson doesn't find the mark of the right hook. Liddell doesn't connect with the right hand. A quick exchange of strikes does not produce any damage, and that's the end of the first round. That's a crazy fight for Chuck Liddell there. Complete domination on Dan Henderson. Knocked him down 20 seconds in and just rained down on some shots. This is going to be a crazy one for Dan Henderson to come back to. I don't see that one happening. Liddell stands ready as Henderson moves in. Henderson misses the right hook, leaves him home for a counter. There's a clean right hand. As the jab is wide from Liddell, then scores with a right cross that lands hard. Liddell's starting to slow down a bit. He might have gassed himself out in that first round. They stand and trade in the center of the ring. Neither fighter can land a good shot. There's two jabs and hits a body kick. Henderson tries to shoot in. He's got a takedown. Liddell is on his back pulling guard. Pounds away, Liddell calmly deals with him. Liddell gets an underhook and then gives him enough control to force him up back to the feet. Both fighters are now clenched. Henderson's trying to push Liddell so his back is against the ropes. Liddell's not allowing himself to be driven back, though. Gains a down position in the grapple. Looking for the takedown off the clinch. Not happening. Henderson wrestles his way into a down position in the clinch instead. Now push him against the ropes. He does so. Got solid underhooks now. He's got some underhooks gaining solid control. Looking for the takedown. Greco-Roman slam. There, and he's got the back, too. Oh, no. There's a pounds away with rights. Liddell covers up. Only a couple manage to get through. Pounds away, but is unable to inflict much damage on Liddell. And that is going to be the end of the round. Man, that was a great round for Dan Henderson. He completely dominated that round. Besides, right off the bat, when Liddell countered and with a clean right hand off the hook, that was all Dan Henderson. That was a great round for Hendo. He needed that. This third round's going to decide it all, I think, as Henderson shoots in, looking for the takedown. He's got it. And guard. Henderson keeps Liddell guessing there, as trying to get some underhooks, but is unable to do anything off of it. Henderson fires off a handful of punches, each easily being blocked with gloves. Liddell tries some sort of positional change, but Henderson shuts him down. Henderson fires off some punches that aren't of any great force, though. Throws a few right hands, takes a moment to plan ahead. Again, trying to force some positional change, but Henderson shutting that down. In guard, Henderson is content to throw a couple punches to the body. Referee smartly breaks him up, separates him, stands it back up. Henderson steels himself to attack once more. He is running desperately short of time, and he needs a finish. They stand and trade in the center of the ring. Neither fighter can land any good shots. Two fighters engage with strikes, but again, neither can land a good shot, as Liddell stands ready as Henderson moves in. As Henderson misses with the right cross, zooms up home for a count. There's a powerful straight right that lands clean, and he knocks him down. Oh, no. Can Chuck Liddell finish the fight? Is going to win by decision? Oh, no. Massive rights. Henderson's getting battered. Thank God Big John McCarthy stands in and stops the fight. Chuck Liddell, he's done it. He's finally beaten Dan Hendo Henderson. Chuck Liddell, the Iceman. He avenges those two losses. He's now 19-7. Poor Dan Henderson's now 15-8, as he has lost 5 straight now. We're going to send him down the rings. Kind of like how Vanderlei, we just send him down there just so he can get some tomato cans to squish, and then he'll come back up after getting a couple of wins his way. But, I mean, that's a great win for Chuck Liddell, being 19-7, stopping the 3-fight losing streak. And, man, he's back into big contention, I think, with that win. That's a great performance. And giving thanks to Chuck Liddell praises his team at the pit. It's very responsive to all the fans who came and support him. Chuck Liddell gives a show of respect to his opponent in the solid performance from a marketable fighter. Pretty fun show. The commercial rating was 75. Not great, but, you know, and it only had like 4,000 in attendance, which is kind of crazy for a Pride FC Worldwide taping. As I mean, Chuck Liddell, good stuff. The Ramiro Sato Twister. You know, the Jackie Manson and Pat Healy fight was pretty fun. Yeah, Nate Corey and Alex Kuno was probably the best fight on the card. Funny enough, we decreased a lot of pop, especially in Japan, almost 2%. As we fight of the night for Ramiro Sato and Charles Bennett with the Twister. Yeah, that makes sense. We're going to even give him a performance bonus because of the Twister. Hell yeah. Made $2 million, so that's all that matters. Alright, that will do it for that episode. Thank you all for watching. And next episode, it is the debut of the Beast. That is Brock Lesnar. He's taking on Yoshihiro Takayama. What a fight that will be. That's a lot of fun. And I can't wait to see that one play out. As we'll catch you guys there. Take care, everyone.